Hi students, welcome to my channel. In this video, let us learn about degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom is defined as, for any gas, degrees of freedom is defined as the number of independent ways, through which a molecule can have energy. A molecule can have energy in how many independent ways? That number of independent ways is called degrees of freedom. So a molecule can have energy due to translatory motion, due to rotatory motion, due to vibratory motion also. So these are the different ways through which a molecule can have energy. This type of how many independent ways are there for any molecule, that number of independent ways is called degrees of freedom. So for example, if you take monoatomic gas cannot have vibration. Monoatomic means single atom, like helium. So one helium atom does not interact with another helium atom in helium gas. So no attraction between helium and helium. But you know, in vibration, for vibration, restoring force is required. Like in case of spring, you will study in oscillation chapter, simple harmonic motion. There you will study, right? Restoring force is required for oscillation. Oscillation means what? It should move like this. For vibration, it should move. So here, particle moving, again it is coming back. It should come back means opposite direction force is required. So anyhow force is required. But in a monoatomic gas, single atom, monoatom, it does not interact with any other atom in that gas. So no attraction between the gas and gas molecules, no vibration at all. Next, even monoatomic gas molecule does not have rotation also. Even for rotation also, here molecule need the force, like earth is revolving around the sun. So gravitational force is there. Electron is revolving around the nucleus. There is a nuclear electrostatic force acting on electron due to nucleus. So like that force is required for the revolution. So see, monoatomic gas doesn't have such rotation also. So then monoatomic gas will have only translatory motion. It can move in space freely. When it is moving in space, then it can have velocity component along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis also. So it will have three components. The component of velocity along x-axis is independent of the component of velocity along y-axis and z-axis. So the molecule can have kinetic energy due to x component of velocity, due to y component of velocity, due to z component of velocity. Then in space, in general, any gas molecule can have 3 degrees of freedom. But if you take special case, for example, you restrict the molecule to move only along x-axis. Example, you take one narrow glass tube. It has a narrow bore inside. So molecule is inserted, is thrown inside. Then molecule moves along straight glass molecule, only one direction. It can have velocity only along x-axis. So it will have only 1 degree of freedom. So now another example. You take a molecule moving between two plates. You take two plates. Two plates are very closely spaced. So molecule is in between the two plates. Then molecule can move in between two plates, either x-axis or y-axis. It cannot move along z-axis. Then it will have only 2 degrees of freedom. Otherwise, in general, now in this space, any molecule is taken, there is no restriction on translatory motion of the molecule. So it can move freely. Then it can have 3 components of velocity along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Then it will have 3 components, 3 degrees of freedom due to translatory motion. So Monoatomic gas will have only translatory motion, then it will have 3 degrees of freedom. So monoatomic gas will have 3 translational degrees of freedom. It will have only translational degrees of freedom. That is 3 for monoatomic gas. Now let us take diatomic gas. So even you take diatomic gas also, for example, you take O2 or H2. If you take O2, oxygen gas, 2 atoms will be there. So one atom is bound with another atom. So 2 atoms are bound together. That is O2, oxygen gas. Now for this, if one oxygen is here, another oxygen is here. Now this oxygen molecule, here 2 atoms are there. So this oxygen molecule can move like this in space. So in space freely it can move anywhere and it can have 3 degrees of freedom due to translatory motion. It also can have kinetic energy due to x component of velocity, y component of velocity and z component of velocity. Then it has 3 translational degrees of freedom again. Now what about rotation? So it can have rotational kinetic energy because diatomic, 2 atoms are there. So in our example we are taking oxygen, this is one oxygen atom, this is another oxygen atom, 2 atoms are there in O2 molecule. Now for example, if these 2 atoms are taken on x-axis, then let us take this is y-axis and z-axis will be like this. Now moment of inertia formula I equal to mr square. M is the mass of the particle, r is the distance of the particle from the axis of rotation. For example, if you take moment of inertia about y-axis, so then we take mass of the oxygen atom. So this atom will have mass m and it will have some distance from y-axis because this is the y-axis. From y-axis it has some distance. Let us take it as y for example. Then my square. So my square is the moment of inertia of this atom. Then this atom also will have this distance also. If you take same, then total moment of inertia will be 2my square. So this atom, this molecule will have moment of inertia about y-axis. So it has moment of inertia and it will have kinetic energy also. So it has 1 degree of freedom now. Next, if you take moment of inertia about z-axis, now this is the z-axis. From z-axis also there is some distance. So that distance if you take z, then moment of inertia of this atom will be mz square and second atom, 2 atoms are there, 2mz square is moment of inertia of the molecule about z-axis. Then it will have kinetic energy due to, this is the formula for rotational kinetic energy. Half I omega square is the formula for rotational kinetic energy. So it will have rotational kinetic energy about z-axis also because Iz is not 0, Iy is not 0. But if you take moment of inertia about x-axis, so now this is the x-axis, this O is on x-axis. So distance of oxygen from x-axis 0. So R value 0, 0 into something 0. So moment of inertia about x-axis 0 for both the atoms. From y-axis there is some distance. Oxygen is at some distance from y-axis. So this R value is y, it's not 0. So I is not 0. If I is not 0, it will have rotational kinetic energy about y-axis. About rotation of y-axis. Now like that, from z-axis, this is the z-axis. From this z-axis also there is some distance. So z is R value z, it is not 0. As I is not 0, it will have rotational kinetic energy due to about z-axis. But Ix value if you calculate, this is oxygen is on x-axis. So distance of oxygen from x-axis 0, if R value 0, then moment of inertia 0. So it will have rotational kinetic energy about y-axis and z-axis. So it will have only 2 degrees of freedom due to rotation. So we can write 2 rotational degrees of freedom. So totally diatomic gas molecule will have 3 plus 2, 5 degrees of freedom. Right? Now if you come to triatomic or polyatomic. So triatomic. So triatomic gas, if you take, it also will have 3 translational degrees of freedom. Like even you take H2O, CO2. So 3 atoms are there bound together. So if oxygen is here, H2O, here H and H, here oxygen is there, H2O. Now this H2O can move like this in space. Then in space maximum it can have 3 degrees of freedom. So 3 translational degrees of freedom. Now we will come to rotation. When you come to rotation, then we need to see it is linear or non-linear triatomic molecule. If it is linear triatomic molecule, so for linear triatomic, linear means all 3 atoms will be on same straight line. For a triatomic molecule, 3 atoms will be there. So example, so I can take CO2. In CO2, in chemistry we will study the structure of the molecule. So if it is C, so oxygen and oxygen, so two bonds will be there on 2 sides of carbon, right? Anyhow, so 3 atoms will be on same straight line. This is called linear triatomic molecule. So again, if you consider this is x-axis, as these 3 atoms on same axis, x-axis, distance of oxygen from x-axis 0, R value 0, I 0. Distance of carbon from x-axis 0, R 0, I 0. Like that this. So moment of inertia about x-axis 0 because 3 particles are on x-axis. But if it is y-axis, then from y-axis there is some distance. Y value is there. Then R value is taken y. So anyhow, there is some value for R, then I value not 0 about y-axis. This is z-axis. From z-axis also oxygen is at some distance. So R value not 0, I not 0. So linear triatomic will have 2 rotational degrees of freedom about y and z. So about x-axis again it is 0. Now if you consider non-linear triatomic, non-linear example H2O. So H2O, if this is H and this is H and oxygen will be outside of that line. So this is non-linear, they are not on same straight line. So now if you consider this is x-axis, so moment of inertia of hydrogen 0 because they are on x-axis, but oxygen is out of x-axis. So there is some distance. Oxygen is at some distance from x-axis. So R value not 0 now. There is some value for R. So I value not 0 even about x-axis. Now we can take from y-axis. So hydrogen is at some distance. So R value not 0 about any axis you take. Then it will have moment of inertia about x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Then it will have 3 rotational degrees of freedom. Non-linear triatomic molecule will have 3 rotational degrees of freedom. But linear triatomic molecule will have only 2 rotational degrees of freedom. Linear triatomic molecule will have 2 rotational, 3 translational plus 2 rotational. Totally 5 degrees of freedom for linear triatomic. Next, non-linear will have 3 translational and 3 rotational degrees of freedom. Totally 3 plus 3, 6 degrees of freedom for non-linear triatomic. Now, in general, if they don't mention the type of the gas, if it is given CO2, you know it is linear, then you will take 3 plus 2, 5 degrees of freedom. But if it is given H2O or some other non-linear, then we will consider 3 plus 3, 6 degrees of freedom. But in general, if they don't mention the type of the molecule, what molecule it is, then just if they mention if it is triatomic, if it is triatomic, in general, we should consider non-linear triatomic. So, in general, triatomic should be considered non-linear. 3 plus 3, 6 degrees of freedom should be considered for triatomic gas molecule. Now, if it is polyatomic, so same as triatomic, we should consider polyatomic or triatomic, same degrees of freedom we should follow. Now, a molecule can have vibrational degrees of freedom also, but at high temperature only. In general, at low temperature, the molecules are rigid, means distance between two atoms does not change. So, we will not consider vibrational degrees of freedom at all. But if they mention at high temperature, or if they ask you to consider vibrational degrees of freedom, then we should consider vibration also. Then degrees of freedom will increase now. For each vibrational degrees of vibrational mode, for each vibrational mode, there will be 2 degrees of freedom. Because in vibration, there will be kinetic energy. When two atoms are vibrating like this, they will have kinetic energy. Like another, it will have potential energy also. There are two energies, kinetic plus potential. That's why 2 degrees of freedom for each vibrational mode. So, if they give us how many vibrational modes, then we can find degrees of freedom 2 times of modes. Okay. Now, let us go to law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy states that each degree of freedom contributes equal amount of energy. Means if you take any molecule, this one molecule will have some certain amount of energy. The total energy of the molecule is equally distributed among all degrees of freedom. So, 1 degree of freedom contributes certain energy. So, remaining all degrees of freedom, each contributes same. Law of equipartition of energy states that each degree of freedom contributes same amount of energy. Now, already we have derived thermal kinetic energy of a molecule. Thermal kinetic energy Ke equal to 3 by 2 kBT. Kb is the Boltzmann constant, T is the temperature of the gas. So, when we derived this kinetic energy, if you see derivation of this, we have considered a molecule has only translatory motion. So, we didn't consider rotatory motion to derive this kinetic energy. So, this kinetic energy is derived only for translatory motion by taking the molecule has Vx, Vy, Vz along x, y, z 3 components. So, this energy derived for 3 degrees of freedom. So, we can write this kinetic energy formula half mv square. So, v square can be written Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square. So, half m Vx square plus half m Vy square plus half m Vz square. So, this is the kinetic energy due to 3 degrees of freedom, which is equal to 3 by 2 kBT. Now, law of equipartition of energy states each degree of freedom gives same energy. This is for 3 degrees of freedom. 3 by 2 kBT is for 3 degrees of freedom. Then for 1 degree of freedom, what is the kinetic energy? 1 by 2 kBT. For 3 degrees of freedom, 3 into 1 by 2 kBT. 3 by 2 kBT. So this is for 3 degrees of freedom. Then for each degree of freedom, so each degree of freedom gives half kBT. Half kBT is the kinetic energy of one molecule due to 1 degree of freedom. Now, if you consider f degrees of freedom, because this is for 3 degrees of freedom, 3 by 2 kBT. So, 1 degree of freedom, half kBT. If there are f degrees of freedom, So let us write the internal energy. So in general, internal energy of a gas is nothing but the sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. But in general, molecule of gas do not interact. They will not attract each other. One CO2 molecule, another CO2 molecule do not interact. So they do not have potential energy. Then what is internal energy? This kinetic energy itself is internal energy. Now, internal energy of one molecule with F degrees of freedom. F is taken as number of degrees of freedom. Here for monatomic, F value 3. For diatomic, 3 plus 2, 5. For triatomic, 3 plus 3, 6 degrees of freedom. Triatomic means non-linear only. If they mention it is linear, then we should consider 3 plus 2, 5. In general, 3 plus 3, 6. So F value 6 for triatomic or polyatomic. So in general, we are taking F. With F, degrees of freedom. Equal to F by 2 kBT. 1 by 2 kBT for 1 degree of freedom. With F degrees of freedom, we should multiply this with F. This is the internal energy of one molecule with F degrees of freedom. Now, internal energy for 1 mole. 1 mole. For 1 mole, what is the energy? So I will write U equal to. So F by 2 kBT. F by 2 kBT is the kinetic energy, internal energy with F degrees of freedom for one molecule. So what is internal energy of two molecules? This we should multiply with 2. So for 1 mole, in 1 mole how many molecules will be there? Na, Avogadro number. So this is for 1 molecule. For Na molecules, we multiply with Na. So already we know F by 2 into Kb into Na can be written R. So F by 2 RT is the internal energy of 1 mole. Then same energy, internal energy for mu. Mu is the number of moles. So for mu moles, the internal energy can be written. This is the energy for 1 mole. Multiply this with mu, then we get total energy. So U equal to mu into F by 2 RT. This is the internal energy of any type of gas with F degrees of freedom.